Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 161.
Woot, woot.
Woot woot. You finished out your January birthdays?
Yes, I am free of January birthday clutter. I was actually, went out with the husband on Saturday night, and then Sunday got into like some sort of weird spring cleaning mood and just went through all sorts of different rooms, and I'm pretty excited about it, but it's still half done because I realized like, oh, my son needs a bookshelf, and then once he has a new bookshelf, we're going to take the old bookshelves, we're going to put them in the closet here, you know, my mind just started spinning about how to organize things better. And so I need to run to Target and get a few things, and then we will be all set to keep going. But I think I reached the stalling point and started knitting. Not as much spinning this week. I think I fell off the 15 and 15 wagon for a little while.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun to jump back into it. I was having so much fun with my knitting, I didn't want to stop to spin. So.
The Acreworks sent one of their prototype spindles as a prize at the Sun Valley.
And I think I saw who won it.
Yeah. And it was pretty cool. Like, you could turn it into a top whirl or a bottom whirl. Like, I didn't want to spin, but it looked nifty to like play around with.
Yeah.
Like the gadget person in me was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. And they 3D printed this. And but yeah, as I mentioned, I went to the Sun Valley Fibers January Thaw 2015. It was in Middleton, Wisconsin, versus out near Verona, like it was last year. Last year it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there wasn't a lot. This one reminded me a lot more of like our retreat. So it was near the Madison city limits line.
Okay.
We were able to walk to a lot of places like Starbucks, and I walked to Sprecker's and got Jeremy some beer and the kids some root beer. And there was a lot of stuff. I found a trail to run on and a bar to try to do pull-ups while I was there. It was just such a restful retreat. Like, our retreat, I love it, I love it, I love it, but I have to do a lot of work for it. And so while I was there, I got to run, I got to sleep in, I got to chat, I got to knit. The hotel was fabulous. It was one of those atrium hotels where it goes all the way up to the ceiling, and then the floors all rotate around that, around the atrium. And so like Leah and I would climb the 10 stairs to the top and walk that floor and go down a floor and walk that floor and go down a floor. So we got our steps in that way, because I'm trying to keep walking, even though I was sitting a lot. What else was I going to say about it? Jeanette really outdid herself as far as that wall of yarn. I think she said twice as much as she dyed last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, long. And yet no Quicksilver Gray in DK.
There was none.
I texted her a wish list. You know, light gray, maybe like Quicksilver in DK. Not there.
I don't trust my color sense, and you have such a keen color sense that I wasn't going to swap it out. The DK was a little bit, I got some DK, but like, yeah, don't even. Java Jenny was my color consultant, and we like walked through, and it took me a good, I would say, hour, if not more, to pick out those two colors that I ended up picking out. So yeah, I was having a bit of a, I have nobody to blame but myself if I buy the wrong, you know, like you can't, when you buy things on the internet and the color comes out not being what you imagined, you can kind of go, oh, well, I looked at the picture on a bad monitor, or it was a different lighting, but yeah, when you buy it in person, there's a lot of pressure. Didn't take any classes, but yeah, ate, laughed, I was telling Amy, just laughed about the most inane, like, telephone type misunderstandings of, you said beef, I thought you said beach, she said beat type conversations. It was kind of like a big slumber party where you just kind of start giggling at each other. So, and met a lot of some people that were new this year. Yeah, highly recommend the Sun Valley retreat if you're in the area, or like Patty flew up from Texas.
Oh, Patty was there.
Yeah, she said that it was the first time, or not the first time. It had been a while since she'd seen snow.
Oh,
since she lived in Chicago, and it did snow that night. So yeah, Corey and I went on Thursday and came back kind of late-ish Sunday night in time to help with swim lessons. And then I was like, hey Amy, can we podcast tomorrow, because I just kind of got home. And it was your husband's birthday, so
it was. Yeah, that retreat smack dab on that weekend.
Yeah, well,
so far.
My daughter made me promise that next year I will not be gone on that weekend, because they have the Falwell Follies, which is their talent show. And this year she played Jingle Bells, which I've seen her play a bajillion times in like piano concerts and recitals and whatever. But Jeremy texted me and he was like, yeah, Ellie did really great. And he took a video and he showed it to me. And he's like, the second she got done, Quentin got up, put his coat on, and very loudly said, good, now we can leave.
He is gold with those.
The big groups.
Big groups.
Yep. Quentin knows how to behave when he's around the big groups. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I just got the biggest giggle about that, because, you know, in his 3-year-old mind, good, we saw the person we came for, now we don't have to sit through any more of this. So, but Grandpa was here and got to see her. So yeah, if we might end up going late next year, or I don't know, I guess this was the second year made me realize that it must be the same date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they plan the talent show to be that same weekend as the retreat. So, but got some administrati to be administrated. Did you have anything else? Colloquialisms, pre-administrati. I don't know what you would call them.
I don't know. I mean, everything's been going by in a blur.
Yeah, I can't believe January's almost over.
Yeah, just super fast. I've been participating in the Whole Life Challenge.
Okay.
So I haven't had, well, I can't say not at all, because there are like cheat points during the day. But I haven't been using my cheat points for bread or diet soda. So I'm off diet soda, or I have been for over a week, and I haven't been having bread other than Lucy's birthday party where I had a slice of pizza. But even now, that's over a week ago. Mm-hmm. And then
feeling good?
Yeah, feeling real good. Cheese was the not cheese, but milk in general, all dairy products except for butter when cooking. So you can cook with butter. That's one of your acceptable dairies. And yeah, I don't know. I have a team that I'm doing this with, and there's a couple people on my team that are saying they're having headaches and having struggles trying to keep on track. I fell 1 point today for some chocolate, which is also not on the list. I mean, that's a hard one for me. But it's not an everyday thing. I don't need to have chocolate every day. So as long as I can sneak that in there here and there. And it allows for some treats, but not, I mean, I wanted to kick Diet Coke or diet sodas. So that, keep going. Yay.
Yeah.
Hold in there as long as I can. And
January was hard last year when I was doing that too.
Yeah, and so I wanted to kick that, and I also wanted to limit my bread and dairy. Dairy wasn't that hard for me. I mean, I thought it would be, but it's really not. I've been happily giving that up. But, you know, like there's things I would like to eat that have cheese in them or on them, but I find that if I just cook them myself and I eliminate them, I'm not really missing them that much. Like cheese on your salad, easy to let go of that. Cheese inside of a burrito, actually pretty easy to get rid of. And then, you know, just like other things. Pizza was the hard one, and I gave in and had pizza, but yeah, hasn't been so bad. The bread, again, I have a lot of sandwiches and bread on the side, but, you know, you just eliminate eating sandwiches and don't have bread on the side. I mean, it's been just shockingly easy. Now, granted, I'm only
a weekend, yeah,
a week and a half in, or a weekend in, but I think it's been officially 10 days. But I'm excited about it, and it's called the Whole Life Challenge. It starts on a certain day and it ends on a certain day, and there's like a community around it, and it does cost money to keep you motivated. I'm doing it with coworkers, and so
I was gonna say, how'd you find out about it?
Yeah, some coworkers got me into it, and they're the ones who are kind of forcing me to be motivated and whatnot. And they're also in CrossFit, so we did a endurance challenge. Mm-hmm. So like this, it's an AMRAP, as many reps as possible thing. And so you're doing an AMRAP and trying to get as many. So I had 141, and by the end we're going to see if I can beat that for the AMRAP. And then that's it. Just apparently I am CrossFit addicted, because I was in class all week last week, and I still managed to get my CrossFit in by ignoring my family in the evening. You know, it was like I only did it Wednesday and Friday, but I forced those Wednesdays and Friday. No, it was Wednesdays and Saturday, sorry. But I forced those 2 days in there, even though because I couldn't go to any of the other ones.
During the day.
Yeah. Normally I would be able to go over lunch. But
cool.
So back to doing that.
Awesome. Keep it up.
I know, I hope so.
If you get addicted to that awesome feeling. So
yes. I actually got really addicted to it midday. You know, just help that afternoon fly by. Mm-hmm. You know, like I was...
Give you a little energy.
Yeah, I had some pep, and I was getting things done, and I wasn't feeling like, ugh, it's 2, and ugh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got 2 more hours or 3 more hours in the day left, blah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Go.
My National Women's Health Network goal has been met, so huzzah. I raised $1,500 and then some, and we had some very, very generous folks donating very large amounts. So I really appreciate everybody not only enjoying the pattern, but also wanting to support the cause. It means a lot to me. A lot more than you probably think. A lot. I saw the wonderful kitchen countercrafter, Java Jenny, this past weekend. And so our January KAL now has a kitchen countercrafter bag prize. It's got her signature snappy snap top and then an actual snappy snap. And this is the zombie fabric. Mm-hmm. And it's got a fun little intertwined kind of stitchery cute handle. Yes, very, very, very cute. And then also for the January Cal, which is it is a knit along, because knitting is involved in your resolutions, but it's basically to go out there and say what you're hoping to accomplish in your January resolutions.
Yes, and I want to remind people that posting a photo was part of the requirements, so go out there, look for your post again, and make sure it has a picture of your progress on something. Mm-hmm. That is part of it. So if we draw your name and there's no picture there, we have to redraw.
Pro tip. Good tip. We also have this Shadowin Fiber Arts, which was generously donated to us by Miss Judy. It is a superwash merino sock yarn, 400 yards in vintage calico, and I think this is just fantastic. You can't even see all the fantasticness. It's kind of got this aubergine and a mustardy yellow and some purple and kind of the blue highlights kind of get me. But yes, very, very pretty. So those are up for grabs in that. We also have some new huzzah sponsors. Little Skane is going to be a bag sponsor. I don't have her on a month yet. This month is the From My Stash 716HXC, which means it's her self-striping with the black stripe and the multi. And then we are excited to, next month will be the Mint Rain, and this is After the Storm self-striping. All of her colorways. I think this would be another wonderful static zing.
I think that was one of the colors that I would have picked out of her shop, for sure.
Yeah. it's purple and a bright pop teal, and I'm explaining these colors because in talking to people this week, they mentioned that a lot of them watch or listen but don't necessarily watch unless they're really interested in something. So, the more you can verbalize the colors. And then also, like, while I was knitting on my boxy, they were like, oh my gosh, that didn't look like that color on the podcast at all. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, yes. But you can go out to her shop and see this. And she also gave us a very, very kind coupon code, 10% off until the end of February. Zombie SS for self-striping, KAL 10. So 10% off till the end of February. Go grab this after the storm skein. Super pretty. And then we are going to be part of the Spud and Chloe Stripey Fine. They just announced that they are doing a self-striping on their fine base. Some really cool, fun colors. They have a really pretty picture of them in bowls because they are kind of food. What is this one called? Oh, the thing I had a colorway name on them.
Yeah, these
like
are
that
numbered, yeah.
That looked like, I thought that was like blueberry crumble and this was like grape something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, but we're going to be part of, we'll knit, review, talk about the patterns that they have with it, but that'll be in March. And we'll have, I think we have one of each of these, that we have actually two, because two of them make 100 grams, to talk about. But we're on their blog tour and they announced it and I'm super excited about it. I think it's a merino silk. Their fine base is 20% silk. And so I don't know that I've ever knit socks out of a merino silk.
No, and the one thing that I've knit out of fine was that sweater. It looked like a vintage 50s, had a little bit of poofy sleeves, mm-hmm. and it was very short, mm-hmm. and it kind of bunched in. Very Mad Men. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And so I had bought some pink to go in that. Mm-hmm. So I haven't knit socks with it either.
Yeah, but they have some mitts and some socks, and it'll be fun. Super excited. Cool. Yeah, I came back from the retreat like super excited about everything. Like, mm-hmm.
Oh, this is so much fun! Everything's exciting.
It's like coming back from church camp and being like, yay! I don't know. What else? The February Cal is coming right up, mm-hmm. and that is wishing for warmer weather. So we're going to start knitting some of those tops that we'll be able to wear when the weather is warmer. It has been a little warmer here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which
the
is
thaw
nice.
Was real.
Yeah, the January thaw happened. It was totes legit. But we've got some sweaters quantities that we're going to give away, and we'll show that off at the beginning of. But I have the KAL marked for February, March, and April. Yes. So it's a 3-monther. Get in, short sleeves. You can do it. All kinds of really cute short sleeve tops. We've got lots of folks out there already talking about what they're going to knit and what they're going to knit it with. Yeah, super exciting. Wanted to encourage people to go out there and talk about that. Somebody contacted me while I was in Wisconsin about possibly opening a Fitbit group so you could friend other people. I have some Fitbit friends that totally encourage me. Cecile, sit down. Are you watching this? Sit down.
Take a break.
Quit walking. You're driving me insane with how much how many steps you get in a day. My brother gets a lot of steps though too. Mm-hmm. But he's in Argentina right now, where it's warm. So, hi Matt, if you're watching. You're not watching.
No.
What else? Oh, you are knitting some. Did you want to talk about the bijou basin stuff while you're talking about your mitts, or did you want to talk about it now?
I can talk about it now.
Okay.
Bijou Basin gave me some yak yarn to review in kind of comparison to their Kivyat sock yarn that they have. There's supplier issues with the Kivyat yarn, and they just wanted to make sure that I had a chance to knit with their yak base yarn that is like $27 cheaper
mm-hmm.
per skein and just as lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that other than noticing that this is a little bit more, a little bit lighter fingering weight the feeling to me than the Kiviat yarn that I knit with. It is still just as lovely and soft, and yak has a lot of the same properties as the musk oxen down or
like
yarn.
Thermal.
Yeah, thermal wise, yeah, the warmness. And they are giving us a kit to give away, or I actually should say they would be sending directly to you a kit if you won of Kiviat yarn, or not Kiviat, sorry,
Yeah.
the yak yarn. So it's called Tibetan Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just start saying that. Tibetan Dream is the brand. Tibetan Dream, and a pattern, and then samples of their new Allure soak. So 3 samples. So 3 different scents. No, 2 scents and a scentless. And then a big bag with a zipper on top, and it's really cute. And all of that, one kit to give away. I've asked them if there's any particular question that they want me to ask you for the giveaway. So keep your eye out for that thread. It's going to run through Valentine's Day, because we are getting a coupon code for their shop, Zombie Love, from now until February 14th. You can get 15% off your yarn and fiber. Wow. Yeah. So it was...
And the Allure?
No, yarn and fiber was what was stipulated. So yarn and fiber, 15% off. So you can get the Tibetan Dream, normally $50 for 42 something, 50, probably 42.50. And then you could also get like their other yarns. They have a couple other bases out there. The Outlandish and all of those beautiful colors, color work. Mm-hmm. Really nice yarns. Megan and I have both knit with them.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a classy yak going there, but I really like the Outlandish.
Yeah.
Because I love that they have unique bases, but then they also have really bright colors, and you'll see how I got hit up with that while I was in Wisconsin. I was noticing they have instructions not only for by hand, but by machine on here. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. I will try using 4 capfuls in my machine.
Excellent.
Because I'm a lazy knitter. I don't soak things and hand wash things often unless they're super suspicious on whether or not they will. Mm-hmm. They all go in my machine, and I end up just using normal detergent, which is probably harder on them than this would be. So yeah, awesome. And 4 capfuls, that will go a long way. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. So, and it smells really good. I don't know. I haven't smelled their other ones, but this is Woodland Mist.
Yeah, I have the Prairie one. It reminds me more of lavender or sage. I love lavender. I don't know. It was a mix, but I can't really smell it in my FO too much. I mean, it's there. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then so anyway, I have been testing or sampling this, and it is lovely. And if you have always wanted to try a Kiviat yarn, but just can't get over that price hump, 15% off
of
the yak yarn. Well, if it's in stock, the Kiviat yarn as well. But I've been told that there are supplier issues, and I don't know if it's in stock right now. I don't know. I just can't stress enough how awesome this kit that we're going to be giving away is. So
yeah, super generous.
If you go ahead and look out in the threads, it'll have a picture of it. It's beautiful. It's like super cool. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, they're letting everybody else get a chance to get 15% off of their cart, yarn and fibers, through Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So thank you, BG Basin.
And you were giving a little preview of an upcoming giveaway with that Fix-A-Stitch.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was using it to fix a stitch.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've been talking. I was going to briefly mention that somebody had asked out in the threads how I had converted from picking to throwing, and I wanted to, it's easier via this method to answer it, although I can try to do my due diligence and write it up. And feel free to ask questions. I like it when people ask questions. Question asking is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I converted from picking to throwing after taking the Yarn Harlots class about speed and efficiency. It was not like one day I threw and the next day I picked. And the situation was very unique for me in that I used to throw with my left hand. So the yarn was already in the position where I could be picking, and I would just wrap the yarn physically around the needle. And the Yarn Harlot, in her comedic and infinite wisdom, said, "Are you doing that to be as least inefficient as possible?" And I said, "Well, no." And then she was like,
most inefficient.
Yeah. Most inefficient, least efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Used the wrong words. She said the right words. I said the wrong words just now. And she was like, "What would happen if you just stuck that finger up right there?" And I was like, and I tried and I just couldn't do it. Like, it was just hard. And she's like, if you don't get it in the first 5 seconds, just give up.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. And that was the thing that continued to replay in my head. Like, when I was knitting something in the round and it was stockinette and I was trying it and it was super frustrating and I would rather have been throwing versus picking, I just went, oh, just give up. Yarn Harlot said if I didn't get it in the first couple of weeks, then maybe I should just give up, And it kept me going. So I think the wisdom that I have to impart there is a little bit at a time, and eventually you'll get there. Habits die hard. I mean, if you think of the number of stitches that I knit in the first 4 years that I knit, the way that I knit, it's hard to undo that habit. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of just have to slowly and systematically do so. Were you always a picker?
I threw, but I never got fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, at some point I was just getting frustrated with how slow my projects were going.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard that of the 2 different styles, so I Googled it and watched lots of videos and then slowly changed over.
And that's how I became a left-handed thrower, is I watched videos on how to pick. And, the yarn is in your left hand, but yet I couldn't quite wrap my brain around not, like, physically wrapping the yarn around the needle before So, like, I just kind of I didn't watch a video that showed me how to be a left-handed thrower. It just kind of happened. Mm-hmm. Because I was trying to teach myself. So, that's a short-ish answer to a long-ish question, but that's how it worked for me anyway. Mm-hmm. FOs.
So I have a FO 2.0.
A blocked?
Blocked.
I'm bringing my thing back when it's blocked, so you can bring your thing back when it's blocked.
Another one.
You've got another hole?
Yeah.
Every time you hold that thing up.
So I was admiring my work and looking at the loveliness that was here that I had blocked. And then I noticed that my cat had found it and chomped the corner.
It wasn't just like an unravel. There was like a good
chunk gone.
Mm-hmm.
So she had worked at that with her little heart for a while. And it was probably like, here's where I had the blocking pins, and here's where she just kept yanking at it until she got what she needed. And then I had noticed that I had a thin spot, like, because I had picked up just one ply. And so I fixed that, and I wove in all my ends, and Megan was here to witness that. Mm-hmm. And then I hold it up to tell you guys about it, and I see in my ribbing that's around there's another hole. And it's like, it was not there before, I swear. So the cat, maybe it's like her clawing at it or walking on it.
Yeah. Oof.
I don't know, but I think I need to kick the kids out of my sewing room, because I close that door on purpose when things are blocking so that the cats don't get a hold of them. And then to discover 3 problems with something, I mean, one of them was mine, but these are not small problems.
I'm so sorry.
Dang it.
Yes.
It feels like it's just, now it's not even.
Are you going to wake up and this was a nightmare?
I hope so. No, it's the darn cat, and she will be. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to be more careful.
Yes.
So that's it. And then I do have a hoe.
Oh.
So my static zing hoe.
Oh. Yes, that's so fun. That super light color in there.
Mm-hmm.
And this almost, well, you did something, you continued it up all the way around, didn't you?
This was for the. I guess I read the thing and got this out of it. I guess I wasn't paying attention enough.
Yeah, I mean, it works as ribbing, but it almost looked like you did some color work up at the top. I was like, what was that? Looks nice.
Okay. Huh, so that was supposed to be regular wording?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, no. You can, I think it looks nice.
So, that is what my static zings look like.
Yes. Super fun. Love, love, love it.
Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. This has no, and this has none. So this should have no. Oh, well.
You went off book.
I did.
You,
I thought I read it.
You ad-libbed.
Totally.
Looks nice.
I bet what it was is that you had those dashes in there, and I went, oh, maybe that's supposed to be a slip. Didn't even read the rest of it. Just did it.
Go,
Gadget.
Gadget.
A lot. Like, no, that must be what they meant.
Yeah, and I like it. I wasn't pointing it out because I thought it looked wrong. I was pointing it out because I liked it. I finished my Measure in Love out of the Eternity Ranch Winter Wonderland. Absolutely loved it. It was the hardest thing that I've ever given away. Because I was like, oh, I got to do this for Halos of Hope, and I didn't have a lot of other hats that I had in a pile to give away. So I hope it is loved a lot. It's got that extra special tie-in to that it's a sister, one of my sister's hats. The Eternity Ranch washed up wonderfully. The sparkle washed up wonderfully. It was super soft and super lovely, and it was really hard to give away. They collected over, I think, close to 100 hats, which is just phenomenal. And if you're not familiar with Halos for Hope, you should go check it out because it's a really great cause. And Sandy was our gal, and she was super sweet. And Angel Mom 3. And yeah. And then I also, the boxy was the perfect retreat knitting. Like, it was stocking in the round for an eon. And so for all of you that laughed at me that the retreat, about how large it is indeed large. The boxy, if you've not looked at it, if you just look at the picture on Ravelry of Hohi wearing it, with your arms down, you can't see how much positive ease you had. But this is 60 inches. So the smallest size is 60 inches. I actually cast on 20 stitches less than the pattern called for because I was seeing as I was casting it on that it was very large. Other modifications I made, I added a side stitch, pearl stitch faux seam here on the edge. And I do that when I'm knitting stocking it in the round, and I need to be able to do skein alternating. I find it a lot easier to do that in the change between a knit and a purl than just a knit and a knit, and it just kind of cinches up a little bit there if you see it. I was marking the my progress along the edge, and I took those out as I got as I was weaving in my ends, but I started out kind of slow, and then after I got done with my Measure in Love, it kind of accelerated, and then as I was just sitting around knitting in the round at the retreat, I zoomed, and then it was just these front panels that were worked back and forth. It is out of Sun Valley Fibers MCS in the Forest colorway. I have, I would say, how much of a skein left? I don't know, less than half of the 4 skeins. I was kind of worried about running out because I didn't want to have, just something that didn't have sleeves. I added 2 inches to the to the length here. This is unblocked, so next week I'll show it to you when it's been washed. I might try out that new Allure. Mm-hmm. It'll be super smelly, sensuously smelly. And if you think about it, when you put on your garments, they have they get stretched this way as well as this way, and I'm hoping that it blocks out a lot longer because it won't need to stretch this way. Some of my sweaters, if they have a certain amount of ease, are actually that big, so about half of it. When I got to the top last night and I had seamed the shoulders, I put it on and I absolutely hated it. So, first pro tip of Boxy: do not give up, even though it seems like it is obscenely large around. Second pro tip: after you've seamed the shoulders, either don't put it on or don't freak out, because I freaked out. I was like, I'm not going to wear this, Jeremy, and I did all of this and it's horrible. I looked like Dobby the house elf. Like, it was just this big dumpy rag that was ill-fitting, and it could have just cut a hole in a potato sack, or I don't know what Dobby wore. What did Dobby wear? But I looked like Dobby. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy said, put it away. If you're upset, just put it away. And I was like, no, putting it away isn't going to make it better. So I picked up the stitches for the neck and finished the neckline, and then I loved it. I put it on and I loved it. So the neckline, because it cinches it in so much, and it's not like clear out here on your shoulders and ragged armholes and whatever, did not, you need that neckline. You need it. It's important that you knit it before you freak out about it not being a cute item. But yeah, there's a lot of ease. I'm hoping that I think you could wear it with like some yoga pants. It's loungewear, you know? It's throw it on over the top of, you just got done with a yoga class, or you've got a t-shirt on and you get a bit chilly. This MCS is really soft and drapey. And it's just, I don't know. I don't foresee myself, I would never wear something like this to work. But it's definitely, I like it. I like it a lot now. Yeah. It reminds me of my Viajante or Viajante, whatever you want to call it, in that it's big and drapey and comfy. Cool. Yeah. And it needs washed and probably lengthened as far as blocking. So I'll put it on and maybe go like this. Definitely need to get the hem to stop rolling. There's just a little bit of garter down there at the bottom. Like the arm length. And the arms were super easy and peg-like in juxtaposition to the actual thing. Amy put it on. It looked nice on her. Yeah. And yeah, I would recommend it. I know people were doubting me, but I think I like it. I think I love it.
I need to stop fussing with that. I don't think the cat did anything.
Uh-oh.
I think that I had let a stitch go, like a drop stitch kind of thing, and it was hanging out there just enough. Like maybe I got like half of a ply, and it was hanging out just enough, and then when I held it up and it went pop. Because I'm not seeing any bit or frayed or ends, basically. So it's just that stitch was... So I have to figure out how to make that go in and not look like, here, I had to, like, completely...
re-engineer.
This poor thing. Poor thing. Is it ever going to be
Frankenstein.
done? It's the mending challenge sweater.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to... mend this thing and thank goodness, knock on wood,
it's like
it's not in the lace section.
it's the it's your knitting thesis.
Yeah,
it's like, I am able to repair mistakes and or tragedies, minor tragedies, or major tragedies. That was kind of a major tragedy.
I mean, too many things went wrong
just then.
Yeah, just then, like all within the last hour.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Okay.
I am done ignoring you all, and I will come back to the land of the talkative.
Awesome.
So,
works in progress.
Yeah, works in progress. I am still doing the pump up the volume socks, but I went ahead and turned to heel. So I am working
Socks
on
that
those.
rock.
Yes, socks that rocks, flower power.
So pretty.
Yeah, I'm having fun with that. The heel turned out really fun, as far as colors go, and yeah, I want taller cuts, so I gotta keep going.
Just keep moving.
Just keep moving. So then, we saw that I was working on this lovely mitt. I'm using the Foxhall glove pattern, but I think that I'm going to just go ahead and make mitts instead. So making some mittens.
Yeah, that stitch pattern kind of reminds me of the Miranda sweater.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's where it's from. Like I thought of that earlier, like, oh, what does this remind me of? But
Very
you're right.
pretty. Those will make some nice mitts out of that yak. I think I have some of the Tibetan Dream that they very generously sent us in the past as well, that I should do something fun with.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's very pretty.
And it's warm.
Can I put my hand in it before you?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, I can
So
get out my
demanding.
other stuff.
Oh, that is soft.
So then I have most of a sweetness sweater. Yay! So I have, just a few more inches on this sleeve, and then I'll be able to block away from the cat. And I think that, I know it's the design to be a little bit shorter because the sleeves come down to here, and then the sweater's the exact same length. She has you stopping at 12.5 inches, so that, on me that's a 3/4 length, and then it comes down where I'm kind of tugging at it, and this bottom is still rolling. So I'm going to trust until after the block, try it on again. If it's still like that, I have enough yarn, I'm going to add length to the body. I like the sleeve length. I'm not unhappy with that, but the body length, I'm just going to have to trust that that's going to work out. And
otherwise, you've got yarn to make it longer.
I do. But when everything's bound off and ready for blocking, it's like, oh, let's block it, see if it grows. It might grow. Just that extra inch that it needs to be happy. Yeah, it's bright, it's happy. I can't wait to get it off the needles. Yeah, I was telling Megan, just one more night, on my couch at home, and it would have been done. Because I think I have one more set of decreases, and then it's zoom to the end. No more thinking involved, just measuring for length.
And you said you had been doing a lot of those yoked sweaters. And trying it on, you like the yoke?
Yeah,
it'll change when you block it, but
right. No, it's nice. I haven't had a problem with it. I know that in commercial sweaters that I've tried on, I've had problems with them, but I don't know why in particular. Maybe it really was just that it was the design that was cumbersome, and then they had nothing below it, whereas this is nice and simple on top and then plain. So if it gets too busy on top, then it feels top heavy, and then I feel like it makes me look extra wide. I don't know, but this looked nice. I did not mind.
And that's out of Madeline Tosh Sport.
Yes, this is Tosh Sport, and Button Jar, and then Edison Bulbs, the yellow, and the other color is a neon peach.
I think you've infected me with some of this neon. Bright. It is.
And I do have enough of the bright that the bright will come back.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be mitts, a hat, something. It's
a whole set.
Something. I must.
Just going to make yourself some pants out of them.
I think after I said mitts, that's what it's going to be.
It's going to have to be.
It's going to have to be mitts.
And
some beautiful color work mitt.
Yes.
something fancy. I kind of want to do a chart, like a big chart.
And you've been working on color work, right? I was surprised that that wasn't done because you said that it was so addicting, the color work on your hat.
Oh yes, that's another whip, and it's getting bigger.
Dangerously close.
But I'm having too much fun with each individual whip. Like this one was just like so soft and comforting, and it I had knit the pattern before, so it just felt very soothing to work on that one. That, and I wanted to make sure I got far enough along that I felt comfortable reviewing the yarn, telling you what I felt. But then this had to come into play and get bigger. So pretty, yeah. I'm at the halfway point of this middle chart, and so there's, about this much, and then I repeat these outside charts. And then I forget what. I'm assuming decreases and top of the hat, and then it comes with, get a pom-pom on it. So, gotta love a pom-pom.
Yes, you've got those pom-pom makers now.
Yeah, and this is going to the sister-in-law, but I really like the bigness of this hat. It's super duper slouch.
Cool.
Like, this is gonna be like, because it's gonna be like, with a pom-pom. Pom-pom makes it perfect. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. And so I had sock,
hat.
You saw the zing,
Sweater.
Was a hoe, and nothing else has really gotten worked on. So hopefully I will finish the sweetness, have it blocked. I won't have to do anything else to it. You will see it. And then I will work on my last sweater of my whip down.
Whip it down.
Yes, so my whip knit down is going pretty good right now.
For sure.
It's always easy to stay with it for a month. So we'll see what happens in February when our KLs start. Because we also have our our retreat KL.
Yeah.
And I haven't even decided. I kind of want color work. So I kind of got to look through all of our designers and see if anybody's got some neat color work going on in their store. Because that's what I want to do.
I am working on a static zing tube sock. It is 716 in her BFL low base, and it just got picked up. I mean, I literally was weaving in the ends on the sweater when Amy arrived on the sleeves. I had woven the ends last night when I was super frustrated about the neck to keep myself from unraveling it. And I promised to post a modeled pic. I'm not going to pretend like I can get myself in view for you to see. It's big. It's smushy, but needle adjacent. I've got some sweaters that Shalair just continues to be needle adjacent.
My needle adjacent is that boxy, but in a cotton linen for summer.
Yeah. I like the weight of the, I mean, I know that worsted will make it fly, but with this much fabric, I would look at possibly not having it have this much ease. Because I think it's going to weigh a lot with a heavier, a heavier yarn.
Well, I only have 4 balls of the cotton linen, and that doesn't feel that heavy in the bag. But you're right, I don't know.
Yeah.
And my plan for that is just to knit up each color until it's gone. You know, like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 would hopefully be the least, and then I can use the sleeves for the lap. But we'll see. It might take some extra effort to make it what I want it to be.
I have a friend who has commented on Instagram that she's not a knitter, but she would love for me to knit her a joyful, and I offered to knit her one, and then she let me know that she had breast cancer, so she really needs hats, and I was like, well, I better get on that, and I'm glad that I offered to knit you one. Like, I didn't even know when I offered. So I'm gonna knit her a joyful out of this Jinx yarn in the Lisa colorway. She really liked the one that Mrs. Shu had with all of the really bright colors. And Dancing Dog Dye Works. I saw a Dancing Dog Dye Works joyful this weekend. That was fabulous. I was like, that might be a good application for some of my Dancing Dog Dye Works.
Yes.
So I've got Joyful Joyfuls on the brain.
I just recently, in my cleaning of the spare bedrooms, went through my DDD stash again and went, wow. And then I also went through my fiber stash, and I think that Into the Whirl wins. As much Cloud Lover and other I have, Into the Whirl might be the winner as far as content within my stash.
You were in a club, though, right?
I did. Yeah, I did the club for at least a year. So that's part of the problem.
All right.
Although I wouldn't say it's a problem.
I'm a yarn pig, and we're running out of time, so I'm going to try to be quick.
Piggy, piggy.
Piggy, piggy, piggy. Such a piggy. Such a piggy. I got this Tootsie Roll bag from Susan Girl Cave Bags. Absolute Tootsie Roll Pop bag. How many licks does it take to get? It's kind of Valentine's-y. Absolutely love the fabric. Had to get in on it. Super cute. Corey knit me a Bonnie Wee Mouse out of the last year's Sun Valley Fiber. Gave her a fun little cowl with a snowflake on it because it's the January Thaw. So yeah, it's an MCN. MCN mouse. He's so cute and adorable. Absolutely love him.
I just want to rub his ears.
Yes. As far as Sun Valley Fiber goes, again, really hard decisions when you have a large wall like that.
Okay.
Such
so
hard
what'd
decisions.
you end up with?
For some mitts, and I'm going to write up those Philosopher's Walk mitts. I'll come up with something, but I contacted the sock person that I had taken the chart from to make my mitts for my brother, and I'm going to make some mitts out of this. It's Key Lime and Stretch Your Stuff, and Corey's Foxy is the main color, is Stretch Your Stuff. And I really like the juxtaposition of these two. And these
Did she finish the Foxy?
She did. Yes. It was fantastic. It was out of MCN, and it was glorious. Glorious! So she had a Foxy and I had a Boxy.
I think that she also bought some more to do something else, too.
Some Strut Your Stuff? Or
I don't know what base she did. Well, I don't know what color she bought, but the
blue. Yeah. Very nice blue.
Yes.
She's going to make a knit-bot yoked sweater.
Yes.
I think I saw. Yep. So yes, very beautiful combo. Absolutely love it. Took me a good hour to pick out. In the goodie bags, she had her MCN, which is just absolutely fabulous. She had 3 colorways. There was Thawtastic, which is this one. There was a green one. There was Shenanigans, which was red. And then Just Keep Swimming. So she had 4. I can't remember what the green one was called. Something about Forest for the Trees.
Okay.
I picked Thawtastic because of the grays and the kind of darker blues, steely blues. And again, this is looking very much like a Joyful to me. And I wanted to do something that was a little bit outside of myself, I guess.
Right.
So the Shenanigans was a close second, but I think it was a little too close to my coat color where you would be like, wow, those clash. Like it wasn't a good close. It was like she was trying to match and it didn't. So went with Thawtastic, which I absolutely love. Jeanette does beautiful stuff. And then I got a Strut Your Stuff in her MCN lace. So this is 800 yards of an MCN, and I'm planning to knit some sort of lacy tank top, maybe of my own design. I'm actually going to try to design something atop pre the season instead of post the season, or design it in the season and then have it come out post the season. So yeah, 800 yards of an MCN. Really love this Strut Your Stuff blue. The colors that I'm drawn to of Jeanette's and a lot of dyers kind of have that depth of color. Like they've got a dark and a light, and the dark and the light kind of make it have a shine to it. And so that's why I love this. Super love. And then we went, this is the bag from the retreat. Nice big canvas bag that can hold lots and lots of yarnies. Lots of awesome stuff, but I was going to mention that I got the Quicksilver pattern.
Oh,
so
yes.
I can knit that if it begot me. But we went to the Sausier, which is in Verona, Wisconsin, and it's Jeanette's LYS. She's got yarn in there, and it's also a coffee shop, which I just think is an ingenious idea. Just so smart, because you can sit there and knit and drink coffee and then go buy yarn. But I've been looking at this online and hadn't been able to hadn't been able to feel it or get an idea of colors. But this is the Fancy Tiger Crafts. They have a yarn shop in Colorado. I think it's in Denver. And then they've recently started kind of dyeing and selling and having an online presence. And this is their heirloom base, which is 100% American Romney. It's a worsted weight. And these colors just were begging to be together to me. Like, I immediately picked up these two, which I kind of got a lot of this tone of blue, jewel tone blue. And then I held up a couple of colors and was like, what's this pop? What do you guys think? Do you like this one? And this was the fan favorite, and I really do like the combo together. So if I just grab 3 of them. There's 200 yards in a skein, and this is Well Water, and this is Huckleberry, and this is Mullein? I don't know how you call it. But it's called heirloom because they're saying that it's very sturdy and it will wear well and it will look great for years to come. And so I couldn't decide on whether or not I wanted to do color work, some sort of color work with the 3 colors, or recently appearing in my now very short queue was Blue Sand, Blue Sand's cardigan. I think this would make a really nice, like, pop on the shoulder, the upper arm, and this is the main color, and then there's another color stripe. So I may have overbought, but worst case scenario, like you did with your the Madelinetosh. I can't think of the name of with the dots. Sweetness. I could do a hat and some mittens if I didn't use it all or didn't. But yeah. Very rustic. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's kind of a 2-ply woolen spun, plump color work kind of.
I acquired some at my LYS recently. Not
this?
Not Romney.
Oh.
No, it was
Imperial Ranch.
Imperial Ranch.
I saw that there.
Yeah, and I bought it for a specific test knit, and then I didn't make it in time, so I won't get to test knit it, but basically it's from the designer of the Sunspots, and it's that same style, but in a Aran weight sweater, so like the same shaping and whatnot, but in Aran weight, and then it had pockets. I don't know, it looked great. I wanted to test knit it, but I missed out. So
I feel like the fat squirrel in that this really does. It's sheepy, and it smells sheepy, and it feels sheepy, and I don't know. I almost walked out without it. Like, again, having a really hard time being a decision maker, and kind of like My Little Ponies. You know, if I walk out, and what if there's something better somewhere else? Or but this was something that was on my radar, and I absolutely loved the color combo because I could see it in real life. There's a lot of yardage here, so that's 200 times 7 skeins. Just liked it. It had to be mine. No more explanation necessary, right?
No, none needed.
And I almost balled it up so that I could immediately, but I've got stuff that's been needle adjacent for too long, so needs to not be immediately cast on. And we've got a KAL coming up, like you said, and I'm super excited. But that retreat being over has been like mind-blowing that ours is coming up.
I think that happened to you last year too.
Yeah.
And then we went to Knitting Pipeline, and then it was like it's over. Like Pipeliner was like, "Wah! Full speed ahead! Oh no!"
Yes.
We've been blah 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 blahing on, but it's time to talk a little bit about the retreat. Go out the designer showcase area has exploded, and if you're a designer and you haven't seen yourself profiled in that thread, let me know.
I
It
haven't
just means
seen
I
myself
haven't.
profiled in that thread.
You didn't resubmit your bio.
Okay. Mental note to self.
Resubmit your bio.
Okay.
She tested the
form.
the form for me, but then said to be determined on all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff.
Okay. Yes. Oh, or I could add myself to the thread.
There you go.
Yep.
You're a moderator. You have the power. But also, yeah.
Designer showcase feeds into the CAL.
Feeds into our KAL. So the KAL starts in February, yeah? And so, everybody's probably like wound up their yarn and getting ready to go. But if you haven't, check out who the new designers are if you haven't quite picked out a pattern yet. And just know that mine's okay, even though you haven't seen it out there. And then Megan's. And yeah, we have that going on. We have small but significant things to wrap up, and then we're going to be contacting everybody with a get involved note, which will include excursion type things as well. And we might have talked about this last week, but we are getting a lot closer. We just need to finalize some stuff.
And the VKNs, it looks like there's a lot of interest in that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that. There was somebody that got into the January Thaw kind of late that had contacted a few people that I think that, like that VKN would have been a wonderful thing for them. Like they would have jumped on and asked the questions that they needed about the venue, about, what to bring, about, who's going to be there, whatever, it's... So come with questions, come to chat and get to know each other. They will be semi-informal in that, I'll start a group and Amy will start a group, and then as that group fills up, we'll probably have to move on and start another group. But yeah, it'll be fun. All it takes is something most laptops, tablets, cell phones have a camera and a microphone. And if we have any like feedback issues, you may need headphones. For that, internet connection might behoove you to click Hangouts and try to start one or join one before, like practice with a friend, just in case something needs to be installed. But ultimately, the links will be out on Ravelry for you to click, and then it should just open, and you should be in the room. So,
yep. And again, as they fill up, we will click add, and as soon as we have the link, post the link.
Yep.
So hopefully one of them will have an availability, because people will probably drop in
ebb
and
and flow.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, ebb and flow.
10 per room.
Yep.
And the links, I don't know if we can say that one is full or if you can just click down through, but we'll get it figured out. We've got 2 a month until June, and so hopefully those go strong. Looking forward to that, and seeing everybody's smiling faces. And I don't know that I had any more.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.